Social media is the strongest connection humans have ever had to each other in all of human history. So why is it so widely regarded as a harmful entity? I think it stems from the main problem that social media has turned into a commercialized space, uh, basically just buying and selling attention and buying and selling products as well, but mostly buying and selling attention. So the real problem with social media is the commercialization of it. So I think people are in the right to think that it's a harmful existing thing, but I also think that there's a lot more depth to it than just delete social media. Because when you delete social media, I think you take on a risk. You really are just cutting yourself off from everyone else. And I think it's not just about cutting yourself off. I think it's just cutting yourself off from the connection to the rest of the world. I think social media really can be used for good connection, like positive relationships, if you actually try and use it that way. For example, like if you were to try and join a community, like on YouTube, for example, each creator really is its own community, their own community, and you can find positive stuff within that, along with like other things like like Reddit has different communities and stuff. And the same thing with other like Instagram, TikTok. Obviously, different ones have different levels of like commercialization and all. But I do think that there is good connection to be made within social media, no matter like which social media platforms you're on. I think some people are going to always be able to find some sort of positive ability within these platforms, especially people like introverts or people who just are really shy in real life. They aren't going to be able to find people in real life as easily versus online when you don't have to actually talk to the person face to face. So I think that's like that's one thing, the connection to other people, that really stands out to me as an important piece within social media that makes it an actual positive experience. I'm still not saying that social media is completely perfect. It has its flaws, but there are other things than even just the community. There's also like learning, for example. Like I don't really even know what people mean when they say they're deleting social media, because personally I learned a lot of stuff from social media. I've learned like all of what I know about coding and chess and YouTube even. I learned all of that from YouTube, and I'm sure some platforms like TikTok don't give you as much learning, but I do think it's an overstatement to just say like I'm gonna go delete social media, because it's a little bit short-sighted, I think, unless you just don't learn anything on social media. But if that's the case, then it really is your problem because you're not using it in a correct way. I think that's really the case. Like, you just aren't using it correctly if you don't understand that it can be pretty useful in a number of ways. You just have to understand the real like psychology behind like not getting addicted to social media in different ways, but then also figuring out how to use it in a useful way, like with learning and stuff. And there's not just learning that you can get from social media. You can also get like money and stuff, and not just being a YouTuber. Like obviously, I'm trying to be a YouTuber and like make money in the future, but you don't have to do that. You can also make money from like having a side hobby or business, or like a side project, and sharing that online. I know a lot of I've seen a lot of web developers and game developers sharing their projects and websites online and making a good amount of money just from getting the traffic from social media back to their projects and sites. So I do think that there's an extreme positive in the money making space, especially along with like sponsors and stuff, that really help propel like the positives of social media forward, in my mind, at least. So, really, when you're deleting social media, you are taking a risk, or maybe in better words, you're going into a dangerous space, and you're really not using technology and what humans have accomplished so far to your advantage, and you're really just falling behind. That's all I'm saying today. So, bye.